I came with people that are very close to me. And I will just, rather than introducing them to you, I will introduce you
to them.
Before I consult with any traditional ruler, I must start with you.
That's a great honor, don't you?
I want to express my deep appreciation of your presence in that event.
Yeah.
And it means your governor is actually a good person.
Yes.
And
yes,
that is
really,
why
really.
you took the trouble to come. And then we all shared from your presence. I benefited from it.
Thank you, sir.
So when I was entering here, when we were coming, I told the senator, I said, Senator, this is not the palace. Yeah. So when we entered, I said, this is a guest house, because I've been in this guest house.
Guest house.
I've been in this guest house. So, you know, my relationship with Lafia, you know, dates back to my career in the service. But I'll take it short. The late governor of Nasarawa State, Akwe was my friend.
Okay.
So one day I visited Akwe. That time Lafia was still struggling to the position that I said, no, you have to expand this town.
Yes.
It's not demolition or adding.
No.
Build a new,
like a new city.
Yes. Expand it so that you support the old town. He told me to be too, they wouldn't have the money to do it. I said, we can do it somehow. I said, look, you can use the federal mortgage bank, set out to do an estate for the civil servants.
Yes.
Then but make it quite expansive. Cities take a life of its own.
Yes.
Over time, the place will take a life of its own, and it will continue to grow. So eventually, he agreed. He said, okay, will I be part of it to help him? I said, fine. I can help manage that of the Federal Mortgage Bank with the civil servant. Then you do the infrastructure of the place. That's how we started to my estate.
Okay, the idea of it, hasn't it? Yes.
So it was actually my concept. It was my project. It was me that started the project. The only little thing why maybe you didn't get to it was that when he lost the election, the new government didn't want to continue for after a long time until they satisfy themselves and they say they want to take over. So we handed over to them. But otherwise, I know that if you go up a little up, there is a place you get some rock that is flat. I was planning that place to build my own house.
But you can still do that now.
We're into a new season. A season that will redefine the nation.
Really.
A season that will mark a new future, set out a new future for the younger generation. A season that will refocus Nigeria. A season that will unite Nigeria. A season we must not make mistake about. We have no other country than this country. A season that we must try to bring everybody together to have a sense of nationhood. So, 2023 is just by the corner. There is nothing about me you wouldn't know. I started with this democratic dispensation as a young man. I came into the Senate the first time at the age of 37 under Abacha's transition program. The election was cancelled. I ran the election again under PDP, under General Abdulsalami's transition program. And I returned to the Senate. A year plus later, I became president of the Senate.
Yes.
Till I served out my term. And when I was leaving the Senate at that time, I made the resolution which I made public. I advised the president and I said, if we want this democracy to prosper, we should be sensitive to the expectations and aspirations of the entirety of the nation. That I do not think it was wise for everybody to insist on second term. That we should cut short simple terms so that it can go and it can rotate. And I said I was not going to run for second term. And so I did not run for second term. I also got home and I thought that we should show our people that you can still serve your people outside politics.
Really?
And so the few things I did within the period, one of which was this domain.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
The second of which I set up a chair at the University of Sokoto for maternal and child health.
Exactly.
I did a melting plant at Aba within the period. And within the period also, I participated in a number of other political activities, so to say. I know I ran for the national chairman of the party.
Yes.
But eventually the result for a consensus candidate. I also, when President Yar'Adua's ill health could not permit him to transmit a letter from President Goodluck, who was advised to act. The tension was much, people were protesting, situations were tense, the country was coming to a standstill. So I led 41 eminent Nigerians to National Assembly and defined a roadmap to which they could follow to resolve that. The following day, they followed that, applied the doctrine of necessity, and the temple came down. Eventually, I served under President Goodluck Jonathan's administration as Secretary to Government. One thing I have encountered in my career in public service is that this country, it can prosper, we can be one, we can relate with each other seamlessly. So, if I am coming to Nasarawa today, I think I don't need to blink my eyes to know the number of houses I can simply enter and sleep and I'll feel at home. But it has amazed me, and I'll give few instances. When I was in the Senate, at the time we had some turbulence, and the president was like, they should impeach me. So I learned so much about Nigeria that my strongest supporters were from the north. And the late Mama Nali was my strongest supporter. He coordinated my supporters within Sherif. Then at the majority of time, at the climax of the whole thing, of course, those supporting me from the north would not want anything to happen. But surprisingly, AD members in the Senate who are the Southwest met and said, the Senate President had done nothing. You cannot support anything to touch him. However, we cannot also support anything to touch the President. We want peace. So I realized that once you do the right thing, once you are fair to all, once you give people their own space and meet the expectations, it does not matter where they come from, they will stand by you. I have experienced it firsthand, I have experienced it second, I have experienced it in my own career. I have experienced it in such a manner that I can say today that look, once you do the right thing, that it doesn't matter where you come from, Nigerians will stand with you. So I was SGM for 4 years. The experience exposed me also to a brand new Nigeria. And the style of administration of President Jonathan is very different from that of President Buhari.
Yes.
It's also very different from that of President Obasanjo.
Yes.
It's unique in its own way. And what is the major landmark of that administration? That administration was detailed in everything it does to make sure that there is a balance. In fact, one of the measures I introduced in that administration was midterm reporting. I said, after 2 years, we should be able to place our scorecard on the table for the public to scrutinize. And it was my office coordinating it. I will tabulate the appointments made and the distribution, geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone, state by state, and all that. Religion by religion. Then I will then go up more. I say, this is the spread we have. If it is weighing low here, we have to make it up there. If it is so high here, we have to balance it here. This was what we were doing all through that administration. And it was on my table to make sure that we achieve that balance. However, eventually his time came to an end because some politicians thought that was not good politics. That politics is when you exercise raw power and take everything to yourself. Now, they got up and removed him, and all the same, now we can always compare. But our country is our country. So, I have looked forward, I have looked backward, and I looked at what I can say the situation has become, and I can confidently say that I've been part of the process. I have good knowledge of what the challenges are, and so I have good idea of what the solutions could be. And I thought I should step forward to contest for the next election as the president of Nigeria.
Very good.
Sir, no single person runs a presidency. No single person runs a presidential project. The president is going to be a president of Nigeria. Today there are clamor, the president must come from Southeast, I am careful about that. Though I am from Southeast, that is not my sentiment. My sentiment is that I understand the challenges, I understand the problems, I have an idea of the solution, I have capacity to address those challenges. And so, I didn't need to become the president of Nigeria because I'm from Southeast. I want to become the president of Nigeria because if I come to Lafia, I have you here. If I go to Kano, I have a number of people. If I go to Kaduna, I have a number of people. I can drag chairman and say, chairman, where have we not been to in this city? And I cannot look you at the face and not be fair to you or your people. I cannot see chairman in Kaduna and not do what will benefit Kaduna and the people of Kaduna State. And that is what I want to bring to the table. Country has been so divided that we need to bring it back. We have no other place. So, all through my life, I never stayed outside Nigeria for more than 2 weeks at a time. None of my children schooled outside. Everything I have is here. I don't have anything outside Nigeria. If I travel out of this place, before 1 week, I'll be so uncomfortable that I must come back. Yes, sir. We have no other country. Sir, I have come not to seek your support, but to seek your partnership. And I want to reassure you, sir, that I have an idea of what to do. In the next few years, the type of employment we should be talking about is not what we are talking about now. And sir, we need to reposition this country to catch up with the future so that we preserve the future for our children. So that's what I stand for. That's what I want to bring on the table, and that's why I have come, because I believe you will understand me, and I believe if you understand me and you agree to partner with me, this journey will be short. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Excellency, I must start by welcoming you, especially to Lafia, which is of course your place. I must also welcome you again for something that you have done to us this morning. that you have given to us this afternoon. Probably been the first out of all the various traditional homes and institutions and all that we have with us. This is a great honor to us. I want to say in the name of the Almighty that we have accepted this honor. So look forward seriously with us for partnership. With respect to what you have just announced to us. Your Excellency, there is no doubt partnership which we know even under the law. It is something that when the terms are made clear and which has just been made very clear now, can always be acceptable because in partnership is always a beneficial relationship. It's symbiotic, this side and that side. It might amaze you to hear that I was still having your speech, which was delivered sometime in Lagos. I hadn't had a copy of it, but I listened to the speech very carefully when you were delivering that speech. Something that took my mind somewhere. But there had always been one question, a big one that I can remember. The situation at which we find ourselves today in the country, people continue to debate, and most of the conversation revolves around where can we find ourselves tomorrow? Which is the tomorrow for the country? Where are we really heading to? These are several questions that are there. If you are a careful, someone that is observant about the way we are going today and what we are hoping to see for tomorrow. We are not really talking about ourselves today, but we are looking at what we do tomorrow for the generation coming from behind us and maybe the next far behind them. What is their tomorrow likely to be like? Because we cannot be facing a country that they cannot manage. Their own world and where we are today will be completely different. And that was the focus of your speech in Lagos. You were able to bring out very clear what possibly will be the picture of tomorrow. If we are traveling to the next day, these are some of those things that we are likely going to encounter. The shifts that we are likely going to see. How can we be part of that shift? Because definitely the world is evolving, is changing, is moving ahead. And we cannot pretend that we cannot, never be part of it, because if we do not attempt to be part of that, then of course we'll be completely left behind. That is quite disruptive. I must say that we have not left this thing without also thinking about it, without making any effort to just leave it like that. When it happens, sometimes to begin to think at our level. What I mean is at the level of the traditional rulers, at least the senior ones in the country. We met once or twice at the Executive Council of the National Council of Traditional Rulers. We have not taken any position, but we discussed generally. And some of those general questions that would it be right as far as the knowledge sit and pretend as if all is right with us. But we definitely know that it is not altogether right. If that is the situation, what can we, as fathers of the nation, can we fold our arms, refuse to know? We can also look at the situation. We have no right of imposition, but we can take our proper position to advise. And what we think that the direction possibly that those of them who are really in the field can look at because of our various experiences coming from divergent experiences. What can be done to take, possibly you will use the same mantra, to take our country to the next level or to take our country somewhere else. So these are some of those things that we have continued to talk about. And I tell you, I want to go back again to repeat myself. I had listened to what you said that day. And it gave me a lot of interest. And it opened my mind a little. So there could be some way forward on some of these questions that we're looking for. But we know some of our problems. I always reside on the fact that our best, our ablest, don't often come out and volunteer themselves for service to their country. Sometimes you don't blame because of the terrain itself. It's a bit difficult sometimes. And looking at it, because of our complexities and all these things, offering oneself, one is in one position. It's always a bit difficult. So our best sometimes and our ablest, those that can really do the job, may not simply volunteer to come out. Because our environment is not a very, very simple one to cross in. And when the best and the ablest are not coming out, it may end up being dominated by those that you can only manage to continue. But I say that our nation, I think, because it's Nigeria, whether one will see it or will not see it, whether one will accept it or not. As it is, even as the situation as we know and we have accepted that things are not all together right today, and there is a need for us to collectively come and do something. But it is still one of the greatest that we can find, not only in Africa, but in the cycle of the big countries of the world. Essentially, what we need to do is to take some steps here and there, so as to adjust our ways. But there is something that is very, very vital. Once you don't get it, you may not get it right. That is leadership. But you must have the leader himself who can really be able, he'll lead you, because it is very important to have the arrowhead that can be able to understand and be able to take those decisions that are really crucial to bring about those changes that will be needed. And then you find your way. These are simple things in history, they have not been perfect. When Singapore decided to leave Malaysia around 1963 or 1964, it was the same question. We are going to Singapore. And what was important then? We wanted to make Singapore a possibility. And for that reason, even if it may mean that we may lose our lives, sacrifice it for this possibility, we can do it. Those of us who are at the head of it, we are ready to pay any price for wanting to see the possibility. And that is possibly what makes Singapore what it is today. We need those of them, I say it, and honestly too, that can make it possible for us, for this change. We do need this change. It is beyond all of this, all of those things that I said today. These are things that people use for some interest, to manipulate situation, to serve their narrow interest to do this and that. But they are not as important as what will change our nation and bring about those changes that will be beneficial for the future of our country. Your Excellency, I'm happy that you are taking this decision, because you know I know you, and I know you well too. So when you came in and started, those of you who are members of our profession, those who belong to the legal profession, had the opportunity of holding public offices, we take some interest to see, because you represent the interests of the legal profession. Like you mentioned, no sooner you got back to the Senate of the Federal Republic after one, not to talk of the age, but the one that enjoyed that privilege to become the Senate President. At an age where you were still energetic and at a time when you can give all that you have, all your best. Although today is history, but you have done your best in the Senate. And people can judge from that. People can take a cue from there and see. For me, I keep my mind wide open. What we need in this country is the best.